Good morning, everybody. My name is Miguel Angel Pastrana Valenzuela, and I am doing a follow-up video of my brothers on TikTok, Victor Paco Pastrana. I was deported March 27, 2025. I was in the United States working for Res Americas. I had just gotten a promotion 2 weeks prior to my deportation. I had a truck, good paying job, and I was on top of the world. That day it showed up. I walked in at 8 o'clock in the morning. I was dressed up. They called my name, and then they said, "Put your hands behind your back." And I said, "Why?" And they said, "It's the new administration." They put me in a room with like 13 other guys. We were all there to check in. Some were there just to change their address. Everyone was nicely tucked. They weren't expecting it. The rooms were awful. I mean, concrete slab. The floors were just disgusting with fingernails and hair everywhere. The toilet was all pissed on. And we didn't have any source of water except the fountain. That's it. No food. No phone call, nothing. From 9 o'clock in the morning. I think they transported us out at 1 o'clock p.m. to Aston, Texas. Where we were detained in a detention center the entire night, in a room, concrete, with one tiny bag of one mayo and bologna sandwich and a cup so you can drink water out of the little fountain. That was it. The next morning at 4:30 a.m., they shackled us up, feet, hands, and they transported us to San Angelo. From there, we jumped on another bus, shackled up, transported to Del Rio. The whole time, no food, no water, no restroom. I was bruised on both sides, and I was very dehydrated, malnourished. I was sad, of course. From laying on those concrete slabs, I was just bruised up everywhere. We pulled up, they took the shackles off, and they told us to cross. We crossed, and luckily in my property was my phone, my wallet, and my belongings. Except for my driver's license, my work permit, and my social security card. They took that from me. They was all still valid till July. July 26th was whenever my driver's license expired, and that's whenever my work permit expired. I had a Grand Master Court, 2028, and they denied me of that too. So we got across the border, and if you're an immigrant, it's very dangerous to stick around the border. The cartels will pick you up. If they don't hold you for ransom, they will make you cross back with drugs. That will ruin your chances of even coming back to the US. So our best bet is to go to Casa Emigrante. And that's where my journey started, right there. You seen that, my videos. When we first got there, the only thing that was missing was a red carpet. Food, medicine, counselor, clean bed, shower. I think the first day we had flautas, and the second day we had pozole, 3 hot meals, 2,000 pesos, and a bus ticket, 50% off a bus ticket. Thank you, Claudia Scheinbaum. Thank you. Mis respetos a la presidenta. I tried to do the best that I could in the United States. I was paying child support, kept my head clean, and respected the laws. Didn't drive without a driver's license, and I busted my butt. I felt like I was flying, and from one day to the other, 1 minute to the other, my wings were clipped. But you know, until this morning and yesterday, I thought I was a nobody. I told everybody all the time, I'm a nobody. I've always been a nobody. But I've come to realize that you guys have made me who I want to be, and I want to thrive. I don't want to just sit back and cry. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to have fun. Sightseeing. I don't know much of the money procedures over here and stuff, so I'm going to try to be careful, and I'm going to, you know, just go about it the right way, in the smartest way. I don't drink. I don't smoke, nothing. I do like to eat though, so I'll take y'all around the city and I'll show y'all the best spots to eat. Thank you, brother. And I want to thank my friends, my real friends. All of you are my real friends. You know who you are. Any questions, just let me know.
Waking up this morning and then going through my emails, and then first seeing this news update, and then this news update, and then this news update, all back to back to back, was not what I expected for today. But not gonna lie, I am not surprised. Having your president go to the Supreme Court and be like, hey, you guys, I had an innocent man deported to one of the most horrific prisons on this planet. I basically sold him to El Salvador, and I'm probably planning on selling even more innocent people to El Salvador because that makes me and my cooperation, aka the USA, money. But please don't try to get him back at all. And then the Supreme Court, of course, doing that because they're gonna do everything that man says. And then at the same time making it more easy to deport people to Venezuela now. Very much is what we have come to expect from that horrid country now. He literally sold a man to another country, a man that's probably never going to see daylight again. 10 years ago, that would have been the biggest news ever. Like, what do you mean Obama did what? But now that's just a necessary evil. That will happen. You know, a bunch of Latino people, they will be sold to other nations. Maybe they will be tortured, maybe their lives will be taken, but who cares? Every day after waking up, I don't know what I'm expecting when I go and check on the news, but somehow it just keeps getting worse and worse every single day.
My husband, Kilmer, was abducted and disappeared by the Trump administration. It's been 28 days since I lost on my husband. This so-called administration error has destroyed my family's happiness, my children's innocence. Kilmer, if you can hear me, I'm still fighting for you.
He's going to deport 20 million people, the people who pick your crops, the people who process your meat, the people who, you know, care for your grandmother, the people who serve all sorts of critical functions in this country. Yeah, he's going to deport a lot of people, and that's going to worsen the economy. In fact, there have been, I don't know, like a dozen different independent economic analyses from, again, independent economic analyses from Goldman Sachs, AEI, Brookings, Nomura, Peterson Institute. Look, like all of them
I know your argument. If you want to run on more illegal immigration as a Democrat, go ahead. I just don't think it's going to work in the election.
He wants to deport 20. I'm not done with his. I know what his economic policy is because he has talked about it. He doesn't understand how any of it would work, but he has talked about it. He wants 10% global tariffs, which would worsen inflation. He wants to deport 20 million people, which would worsen inflation and reduce growth. He wants to politicize the Federal Reserve, which would worsen inflation.
You guys, we have some breaking and really sad news for Kilmer Abrego Garcia. The Supreme Court has indefinitely blocked a lower court order requiring the return of a wrongfully deported man currently held in El Salvador. He was a Maryland father who the Trump administration admitted to wrongfully deporting in violation of a federal court order that prevented his deportation. On Friday, a lower court judge ordered that he be returned by 11:59 p.m. tonight. But Chief Justice Roberts has placed an indefinite pause on the order until the case is resolved.